Hello, this is Venugopal. Today in this session, we are going to see looping statements in C language. As we already discussed in control statements, the control statements has been divided into two parts: selection statements and looping statements. So in this video, we are going to cover this looping statements. Now, what exactly mean by loop? Whenever, whenever we want to execute same set of instructions again and again or number of times, then we require looping statements. Basically, what is the need of this looping statements? Whenever we want to execute the same set of instructions again and again or a given number of times, suppose I'll write like here given number of times, then we require a looping statements. So in C programming, there are three looping statements available. One is while loop, second is do while loop, and third one is for loop. These are the three main loops available in C programming language. All of this loop work is same. The work is to repeat the number of statements again and again, depending upon the number of situation, how many times we want to execute that particular instructions. So now here, whenever we are going for this any kind of loop statements, we need to remember one thing. What are those three things? That is, number one, initialization. This is number one. Second one is condition. Third one is increment or decrement. So whenever we are going to use any of the loop, right? Either you are going to use while loop, do while, or for loop. These three things should be there in that particular loop. One is initialization. Means exactly what exactly mean by this initialization? Initialization means where to start. Condition means from where you want to start. That is called as a initialize. The initial value means first value, or else I'll write like where to start or the first value, beginning value. Okay. Condition means what? Up to where or up to what condition, up to how many times you want to execute that loop. And third thing is what? Either you want to go in an increasing order, like for example, I'll write in a shortcut like I plus plus, right? In my previous video only, we have seen the incremented and decrement operator, right? Or you want to decrease the loop. Either you want to go from 1 to 10 or you want to go from 10 to 1. Depending on the situation, you're going to use this increment and decrement loops. So if you take any of the loop, so these three things must be required to mention in looping statements. One is initialization, second is condition, and third one is increment or decrement. So loop is what? Whenever you want to repeat a number of statements, right? So better to put that statement inside the loop. That is called as a looping statement. So in C programming, we are having three statements, three looping statements available. Number one is while loop, second is do while, and third one is for loop. Now, the thing is what? We know that in programming language, if I want to use anything, we must know the syntax, how to use that particular feature, right? That is called as a syntax. So first of all, we will see the syntax for the while loop. So here we'll see, sorry, Control Z, right, like syntax of while loop. See, while is the keyword. So you need to write in a short, small letters only. So I'll write here the syntax. The first thing is important, that is initialization is the first sentences in your while loop. Second, you have to write while is a keyword. Then in the bracket, we'll write the condition or expression. Condition or expression. And then the body of while loop. Inside this is called as a body of what? While loop. Every line will be end with a semicolon. And then here I will go for increment or decrement and semicolon. This is the structure. This is the syntax. How you're going to execute, how you're going to use this while loop inside a programming language. Okay, so I'll tell you now the execution of this particular while loop, how it is going to be executing. The first thing is what? The compiler will be entered through the main function. Of course, this while loop you are going to write inside the main function. So very first step, after coming down to the main function, it will initialize the whatever the variable you're using. That will be done first. After initialization, it will come down to this while loop. Then it will check the condition here. If the condition is satisfying or it is true, then only the cursor will be enter into the while loop body. If only the condition is true. If the condition is false, if this condition is not satisfying, then it is not going to enter in this particular while loop. It will directly come outside of this particular while loop and it will execute the rest of the statements which are written outside of this while loop. So this will happen whenever the condition is false. And second thing, suppose if the condition is true, then it comes inside. It will execute whatever the instruction you have given here. Then it will increment the loop or decrement the loop. And then from here, it will directly go and check for the condition again. If condition is true, again it will comes inside this particular while loop, execute, then increment or decrement, then again go back to check for the condition. Till how many times it is going and checking? Until and unless your condition is become false, it's keep on going executing this particular body of the while loop. Once the condition will become false, it directly come out of this particular loop. This is what the execution of the while loop. For example, quickly, if I want to give, for example, I want to print the numbers from 1 to 5. So how to do that? Let us take, I want to print the numbers from 1 to 5. So I'll declare one variable, that is I. Then I will initialize, because I want to print from what to what? 1 to 5 numbers I want to print. So what is my initial value? My initial value is 1 here. And after that, till what number of times or how number of times I want to execute this one, until and unless my I is less than or equal to 5. Till that time I want to execute this particular while loop. I less than or equal to, this is a relational operator, already we have seen less than or equals to. And here what I want to print, I want to simply printf that %d comma I just want to print this number, that is I. Okay, and after printing first statement, I want to increase the numbers because I want to go from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So here I'll write the increment operator, right? You know, this will increase the number by 1. If I is 1, it is increased to 2. If it is 2, it is increased to 3, and so on. Now let us see the execution here. It's called as a dry run. How it is going to be executed? Of course, this program will be written inside the main function only. Now first it will declare the variable. Second, initialize the I value with 1. Always remember the initialization will be takes place only once. Here I will write down the note. It's a note like that. Okay. Initialization will be take place only once, right? After initializing this I equals to 1, now we know that what is the value of I? It's a 1, right? So here it will check the condition. Is my 1 less than or equal to 5? Yes, condition is true. It is less than 5, right? So it will come inside this particular loop, and what it is doing, it's simply printing that I, and here what is the value of I? That is 1. Then it will come down to the next statement, because by default the flow is going to be sequential, right? There is no obstacle in between this printf and I plus plus. It comes here, and the I value, it will be increased by 1 to 2. Then it will see the closing cursor of the while loop, right? The condition is not yet become a false, so it will go and check the condition again. Now this time the value is 2. Is 2 is less than equal to 5? Yes, condition is true. It will come again inside this particular while loop, and next time what is the value of I? Now it is 2, so it prints 2. Then I plus plus, the 2 will become 3. Now again it go back to check the condition. This 2 will become now what? 3. Is 3 less than equal to 5? Again the condition is true. Comes here, it will print 3. Now this I plus plus means this 3 will become 4. Again check for the 4. Yes, 4 is less than equals to 5. Yes, condition is true. Come outside of the loop, and then it will print what? 4 here. Then this 4 will become now 5. Then it goes again and check the condition. Is my 5 less than 5? No, but it is equal to 5. That means the condition is again true. It comes inside this loop, and it will print what? It will print 5. Now again, next statement is what? I plus plus. It will again increase this by 6. And then it goes back and check the condition here. Is 6 is less than or equal to 5? Now this time the condition will become false, and it is not going to enter inside the loop. It will directly jump and come outside of the loop. And if you see the output, see, it has printed the numbers from 1 to 5. So see here our task is what? Only printing the numbers. So if the loops were not there, so here, if I want to print a 5 numbers, you have to write this printf statement 5 times. But with the help of looping statement, you are writing the same set of instruction only one time. But it is repeating how many times? The given number of times. What is the given number of times? I should be repeat till my I will become, condition is what? 5. So that is the beauty of what? A looping statements. If I want to print a 10 numbers, only the thing is what? You need to change the condition. That's all. If I want to print 100 numbers, again you need to change the figure. That's it. You don't need to write the 100 lines here. That is what the looping statements comes into the picture. Now quickly we'll see one small program to better understand the execution of this looping statements. So quickly I will do the same program. So control new, this is the comment for, I'll write for what? While loop. Then as we know that hash include stdio.h void main int I. And here I want to initialize this with what? 1. Now we'll take the help of while and I less than or equals to what? We have taken 5 number. And what I want to print? I want to printf simply this person d comma I. And then I want to increase this value. That's all. This program will going to print 5 numbers for us. So this is the program for while loop. That's it. If I'll execute this, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to print in the next line, for example, better I'll take slash n here. Control S. Now see the output. You will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. So how it is executing, I already told you, right? In this explanation, right? Now here, suppose if I want to print 100 numbers or 10 numbers, you simply need to change this 10. That's all. It will print. See, the work is done very easy now. If I want to print a 100 number, simply change to 100. That's all. You'll get the 100 numbers. This is what the beauty of a looping statements. If I want to print like I equals to, you want, for example, I equals to percentage, you can do that. No problem. And if I'll take like, because 100 numbers is too much here, just to print, this is a printing formats. That's all. I equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10. Suppose if I want to use a decrement operator and I want to print from 10 to 1. So what would be the initial value? I want to print now 10 to 1. So your initial value must be 10 and this I must be greater than equals to what? Because I want to reach to 1 till 1, right? It should be greater than equal to 1. And here I is print is it this is same, but after printing 10, I want to decrease to 9. See, with the small changes, I have changed the entire program. Now it's printing in a descending order. This is called a descending order. 10 to 9, 10 to 1. So I'm decreasing. That is called the descending order. And the previous order was called as what? It's a ascending order because I'm increasing 1 to 10. So this is how we can reduce our task of writing number of statements, right? With the help of this looping statement. I hope you have got the idea of about the looping statement. Then I've shown the syntax of the looping statement here. Then we have seen if you take any of the loop, but these three things will be compulsory in any of the loop. Okay, so we'll meet in our next video where I'm going to discuss about do while loop in our next video. Thank you for watching. Till then, bye bye.